Good evening or morning if you're on the other side of the world. It's me, Francis, and I am going to be working on a remote collab track. I got a song from an artist using the name of Elminster, and it's sort of like a hi-fi orchestral dungeon synth type of a track, and it's pretty cool. And I'm going to see if I can add some synthesizers to it, some sort of like analog synth. And let's just see what happens. I'm not going to have a ton of time to work on this today, so I don't expect to get very far, but we'll do some sound design and play around with the toys behind me, and we'll see what we end up with. So I am probably going to start out by working in outside of Reaper and using this stuff in a way that hopefully you can sort of see what I'm doing. And I'll bounce into Reaper periodically so you can see what it looks like inside of that view. Basically, I have a very simple setup right here. I've got the track that I am working from. So this is just a rough mix down of the song so far. And I've got a track from my Moog and from my Mellotron. I've got another track here that doesn't need to be here, I guess. And I've got my voiceover, which is the ASMR mic. So that's what our setup looks like. And I'm going to go back to main view so we can sort of see the front panel of the synthesizer. This is a Moog Mini Moog Model D. It's very classic style of synthesizer. This is the reissue, so it has an additional LFO and some other patch possibilities on the back panel that you can't see right here. I won't really be using any of that probably, so it's basically just a traditional Mini Moog Model D. Hey, what's up, Oh God, you told me how to pronounce this the other day. Madrid. I forgot. I'm sorry. You can write your pronunciation in the chat if you want. That way I can remember it. But anyway, let's take a listen to the song for a little bit. And actually, before we do that, I'm going to tune the synth. These old style synths have unstable tuning in the oscillators. So. Okay, cool. So, kind of a funny thing. Mugdruid. Almost like druid or Mugdruid. Mugdruid also sent me a track to do a collab on, so I hope that we get around to that one soon too. But we've got to go down the queue. Elminster first. How can you turn down the greatest wizard in Faerun? So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to start figuring out what key we're in. I don't have any additional information aside from tempo, which I've already set. So hopefully the click track lines up too. I don't think my click track is shared, so you can't hear it. Let me just add a click source so you can all hear the click track too. What is that? Insert click source. Yeah. Okay, I'll mute it for now. I just need to figure out what key we're in. Maybe Elminster, who's mech scrap tracks in the chat, it's an E flat minor. Okay, that'll make my life faster. Are you sure? It's not an E flat minor. It's hear the intro. So I'm hearing I'm hearing E flat major as my 6th chord. So G minor. Could it be G minor? G minor. Okay. We both agree that it's G minor. That's good. And starting on, I hear the phrases starting on a C minor. So. Oh, that's an F major. Oh, there's a key change. Okay. So at the end, probably. Analyze any of my songs and look for key changes, and then tell me your writing style is a mess with a straight face. I don't believe in key centers. This part reminds me of Pillars of Eternity. I tend to gravitate toward this sound. Let me just get it dialed in. I want some echo on here. I'm not going to use the hardware units because that's going to get confusing. So I'm actually going to show you what I am doing. Go into Reaper, and I'm going to take my track and just put an insert on it. So this is working with the Tron. I kind of want like a pad in here. I like J37 on my Mellotron. It's my favorite plugin to put on it. And I'm going to actually add a plate in here. Click and plate. Let's make that black. Look at this. This is new. I made this on a stream with my friend Andre. I was like a guest on his stream, and we were talking about buttons on Reaper, custom buttons. So I made a little custom button, set track color to black. It's a little heavy metal hand. If you want to do that, it's actually really useful. Customize toolbar, insert action, and you just pick the thing you want a button for. So say you wanted a button for custom tempo Mappy Boy, which is an action that I invented. And you can give it whatever you want, change icon, and you can give it all these cool icons. So like custom tempo Mappy Boy could be like an anchor or an anarchy symbol, or a drum, a snare drum. How about that? So save, close, and now I've got custom tempo Mappy Boy, and that makes a new measure between two markers. And I did that one for I used that a lot in my album Story from Another Time. Anyway, I digress. Let me get this echo going. I want some disconnected echo. I want left and right channels to have a different speed, which is called ping pong. And I guess I should click the ping pong button here. And that's going to make... Oh, I have the echo off. It's going to make the echo bounce left and right, which I think is delightful on a pad. And I'm going to set it to quarter note on one side and eighth note on the other side. Tough to beat that. And I'm going to send that to a plate reverb. I don't have a plate. This is a home studio. We don't have plates here under the floor or something. I have room for it. There's actually quite a lot of space under the house. It would probably cost like $100,000 to excavate it and build a plate in there. But if I ever won the lottery, you can imagine what the first thing that I would do is, which is to build a modular system. But maybe the third thing would be a plate. Okay, plates stereo. The default setting on this is actually pretty good. I'm going to leave it there and pull out the bass cut and pull the treble down, lo-fi it up a little bit. Analog, something like that. And I'm just going to do this on ascend. So I'm going to drag the routing from Tron to plate and tune this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Moog's going to get that too. A little bit less. Cool. Sounds good. Nice. So those are my beginning sounds. I'm probably going to change this. I don't want like it's like funk bass or something. Yeah. We're not a funk band. We're a dungeon synth band. Okay, let me check the chat here. Oh, are you going to lo-fi-ify this track? Okay, that's cool. That's going to be something that you're probably gonna want to do that after I send you my my pieces, because these are gonna give you all kinds of horrendous amounts of low end. Put some sub oscillator in here. So here's my pad that I've got. Let me just play these sounds for you. And I'm going to do that. I need to stop switching between these two windows. I'll play you the pad on the Mellotron. Unbeatable. It's the best pad sound you can get is a Mellotron on half speed. This is so that it's basically just a sampler. It's playing back samples of a tape recording of strings. And this guy, this isn't going to work. It's too much of like a funk bass. This is like if I want, do you want 808s in your track, Colin? Like just it's a great sound, but probably not for this song. I actually don't remember why I was watching, if any of you follow Matt Johnson on YouTube, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. He was doing some stuff literally on Minimoog, this particular unit, on its strengths as a bass instrument. And it's a very sort of a bizarre video, like a tutorial on a synth that not a lot of people have, but a lot of people want. But I'm lucky enough to actually have one, so I was watching it and learning some of his stuff because he's an incredible keyboard player. He plays in what is the band called? Jamiroquai, that like sort of like disco nouveau band. Anyway, let me do some sound design here and see what sort of fits into the song. I'm imagining just a big. I feel like there's a lot of space on the bottom end of this song. The top end has a lot of stuff going on with like the flutes and the celesta and the strings and stuff. So I'm probably going to focus on the low end because there's nothing down there at all. And that's where I'm hearing space to show off. And I'm gonna do like probably like a long evolving. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna give this a similar type of a delay, and I'm gonna try. This is a really classic. I think of it as like Taurus style bass. Let's try to sound design that real quick. My starting point is I sort of try to imagine the Rush song Tom Sawyer, and there's that synth in the beginning, and it's one of these. I think they actually used a Minimoog for it, and it may have been a Moog Taurus as well, but it's a resonant 4-pole filter that has a really, really long sweep and stereo delay, and it's just the coolest sound. Let me see if I can get that. I'm going to start out by trying to make it cool without the effects. So there it is, dry. I'm going to do it with square waves, sawtooth waves. 2 of them. So this is there's a unison oscillator here, and one of them is I have the option of detuning it basically, so I'm just going to detune it the tiniest bit. And then I'm going to bring up the resonance on the filter. And then I'm going to increase the decay time significantly on the filter, on the envelope of the filter. And I'm going to turn the decay time up on the amp envelope so I can just hit a key and listen to it rock. This is another thing that's kind of a classic is headphone jack to external signal in. It creates feedback distortion. I'll play that for you real quick. It's not very useful at a high level, but if you want to make 808s, it can be cool. I just want a little bit. It brings back in the low end that you lose on a 4-pole. Okay, it's a good starting point. Let's hear that with the effects on and see if it's getting to where I want it to be. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me just hear if that fits into the track at all. I might be just imagining that it's going to work. I think I forgot what key we were in. The first chord's C, not G. It's kind of cool. I think it's gonna work. We'll see. Let me record a little bit of that. That's gonna be a good way to see if it's working. Is if I just hit the old record button and listen to it objectively when I'm not trying to play it correctly. And the question is, do I want it to happen right away when there's that drop? And do I want to hit with a drum or something like that as well? I might have some type of a big, extravagant entrance. But for now, let's just... I swear I had a click up here. I did. Yeah, I muted it. Okay. Cool. I'm just going to hit record here. I had pre-roll on. I guess I didn't realize that. and I wasn't ready. Okay, do that again. Okay, let's see how that feels. And I'm going to just try playing that back. Always recording the Tron as well. That's what's going on there. And if I like this, what I might do is essentially draw it into a MIDI sequence, and essentially have my computer play that part while I experiment here. And I mean, I don't really need to do that at this point because I can use this as a sample. But let's just hear this as a starting point. I'm also going to run it through, just like a sort of a master bus change, just to see how it feels when it's all glued together. So there it is with and without the Moog. I think it's filling in a huge amount of low end. If you're lo-fiing up the track, it might get lost a little bit, but I don't think it'll get lost enough to make it not worth having in there. My question is that better or worse? Basically, this is always the question, right? When you're working on something, is that cool sound better or worse than a less extravagant one? Because, 9 times out of 10 for a bass instrument, you don't want it to be the thing that stands out, I guess, are we supposed to be seeing Reaper? I'm trying to just do most of it here, just so you can see the panel on the synth, but I guess I'm probably too zoomed out to see that either. Let me make Reaper visible. That's a good idea. I think that because I'm talking about looping this, basically I could either make a MIDI sequence that controls this, or if I wanted to, I could sort of slice this up and make it a sample and just loop that instead. I guess I wouldn't want to do it that far, just to have it there for now as a reference. You're going to end up with a funny little break here, but you won't hear it because of the delay. So anyway, I am thinking that I want to see how this pad feels over it, see if this gets in the way of everything else. I kind of, as a feature on a track, I kind of want to step on toes a little bit. And I want to be like, hey, it's me. But I also want to make sure that I'm not making the song worse when I'm doing that. So it's sort of like a fine line. It's different from producing a track, where when you're producing a track, you kind of want people to think that, oh, this artist is incredible, and not even care who the producer is. Unless, if they're a producer, they hear it and they're like, okay, I need to know who made that track. But in this case, as a feature, I kind of want to make sure the track shines, but also because I'm not the producer on the track, I want to be like, hey, it's me, what's up? So I'll make sure that I'm visible. What do you got here? Oh yeah, I definitely forget to switch my screen on OBS to Reaper sometimes. I've ruined videos like that. I've recorded like a 1 hour video that wasn't a live stream before, that was just like, so anyway, we're going to do this thing, and then I watch it, I'm like, wait, where's the video? Anyway, I am going to play this back now, And maybe I'll try making an entrance before this on Mr. Tron. Yeah, what the hell. Something like that could be a starting point. I'm kind of imagining switching, like reaching over for another synth and being like doodly doodly doo. But at this point, I just want to hear. I'm making experiments and trying things out and seeing what I like. So let's experiment. I'm going to turn the click off for this because there won't be a click in the final one. So I guess this button is now click. Click mute. Yeah, cool. I already hate that entrance. I'm going to do that differently, I think. It's too big of a sound, huh? It's too present. Let's slap a filter on there. I'll just use... I just want to hear what this sounds like with a timpani on beat one. Let's just give this a shot here. Oops. Which beat? What key? That's the C. Oh, I don't have this on. None of this stuff's on. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Yeah. Okay, maybe a little triplet. Oh God, my alarm for D&D went off. I've got D&D on Zoom here soon. It was going to be at 6, but we pushed it back. Oh, I've got this on a flam sound. Just one. I kind of like the idea of doing that. I think it's pretty subtle, but it sort of supports the synth in kind of a fun way. Let's just loop that for now and leave that alone. Let's... So I almost want to do some Tangerine Dream shit here, and some type of a sequencer thing. I'm not going to repurpose the Moog just yet because these things don't save patch memory, and I think I might want to use this sound for something as it is, but I could always redo it. I think I'm going to use a sort of a simulation. And I'm going to do this with MIDI because I would use, actually, you know what? There's a sequencer in Reaper, right? I've never used this before. Does this feel like a sequencer? I'll have to learn this some other time. No idea what's going on there. It looks cool, but let's call this sequencer. And I'm just going to see if I like this approach. None of this stuff should be record armed. I really don't want that record armed. Record over the original track. Okay, I think I've got like I actually probably have mini Moog samples or something. Yeah, the sequencer, I actually have never, I noticed it one time, and I think the important thing to remember is that if you're using your computer as a sequencer, you can literally just draw the pattern in the piano roll. It's the same thing. I have never used a sequencer that feels right. When you're saying sequencer, you're saying like when I say Tangerine Dream, I'm imagining 960 modules. So like a rack of 960s that you like you meticulously tune each one. And the closest I've ever had to that was actually a Korg SQ1, which you can get for about $100. And I loved it. I sold it because it was really small and I hated the workflow on it. And I really miss it. And I kind of want to buy another one, but at the same time, I know that I'll hate how little the knobs are. And I might buy, I hate supporting Behringer, but they make a 960 clone now, and it's I could like rack two of those together and have like a couple of 960 modules up here that I can use to sequence my system. And then alternatively, a dope for dark time is kind of like on my radar. So in the meantime, enjoy this free mini Moog VST, which is I think a hilarious thing. People are always just like, wait, what? Why do you use? You have a real one. Well, I'm just experimenting right now. So I actually have used this on some tracks, and I would love to know if anyone listens through my discography, if they can figure out which tracks I'm using a free VST version of this like synth. That these are going for $5,000 or $6,000 on Reverb right now, which is horrifying to me. They're not worth that much money. They've just been out of production for a long time, and you know, people fetishize stuff. That's probably why I have it, honestly. Sequencer is going to be, I need MIDI input here. It's nothing like what I want. Let's see. Which ones of these are on? I like this rectangle wave. Fistful of Doom. Yeah, get nosy. Go for it. Ask me about my private life. I want decay off. Where's that on here? Let's see. Perfect. Cool, this will work. Okay. And I'm going to try something here. And I just want to see if this feels cool with like a fast sequence going. And I'm going to treat it like a real sequencer. So I'm going to give it, I'm on the wrong one, huh? Yeah, I'm on plate. Why am I on plate? I'm going to limit myself to, I think, 8 steps. And I'm going to send it through the reverb. That's not the reverb. Delete. I like to have my reverbs on the bottom. That's pretty cool. And so I'm going to try to create a relatively open sounding sequence that's going to go with each chord, and that's going to be a bit of a challenge, sort of a composition challenge, but I can do it. I have a degree in that. Okay, let me check this chat. What is my day job? That is nosy, but I'm happy to answer it. You're going to love this. I mostly don't even teach music. I actually mostly teach literally this. This is this is the same thing as my day job, except that I'm doing it at my pace instead of at my students' pace. I teach a music production elective at a school, so I literally am doing my job without getting paid for it right now. Same idea. I just really love this stuff, and I love doing it in front of people. And this is sort of like it's funny because it's so similar to what my day job is, but it's different in one really key way, which is that I don't have to wait for my audience to understand what I'm doing. I can sort of just move past it. So it's like this is basically the same as my day job without the hard part, which is teaching. I'm sort of like, I can teach stuff as I go when I do this stream stuff, but if I don't feel like teaching the thing anymore, I can move past it. So I actually don't have to. I don't have the patience. I don't have to deal with any of the potential frustration, which rarely happens. I don't get frustrated very easily. But basically, like the hard parts of teaching actual human students that are in front of you is working at a pace that's comfortable for everyone. And when I'm doing this, I can just sort of bounce around and do whatever I want. And it makes it really fun because I got into teaching because I enjoy doing it and because I enjoy what I teach. But it's really, I guess, I don't know how to describe it. It's, this is for me and that's for them, I guess is the best way of putting it. When I'm teaching in more of like a classroom setting, it's like it's not about me, it's not about my music, it's not about what I'm doing. If their interests overlap with mine, I can, show something. But as a general rule, I keep my music out of it, and I focus on whatever they want to make. And it's mostly like high school age kids, so they're having a blast. I'm having fun with them. I get to know about current trends. I get to keep up with what's going on in the world. And I get better at explaining stuff. So I bring it over here to YouTube and do the same thing for free. Anyway, my goal here is to work with a sequencer style sequence, like an actual hardware sequencer from back when the world of whatever it's called, like the 1960s and 70s, back when sequencers had between 8 and 16, 24 steps, depending on how you set them up. You end up with a style of music called Berlin School, which is, look up like Giorgio Moroder, for example, early Giorgio Moroder albums. And what we end up doing in that style of music is finding ways to make the same sequence work and to make the same sequence transpose well. And I'm not using a hardware sequencer, but I'm trying to emulate that sound here to see if it works in this track, because I have a feeling it might. And I'm doing that with just basically limiting myself to 8 notes at a time before repeating. And I'm going to allow myself to transpose also. This won't sound good. But I'm gonna see if I can find a set of notes. It doesn't pay for all the toys and the bills and the food. That teaches. It pays for the food and the bills, and the toys are mostly paid for by my music, because I do play in bands. I do sell my music, and not an enormous amount of it, but it's kind of like enough to buy like instruments and stuff. Most of this stuff is the result of just buying things over time. I've been in music for like my entire life, basically. So yeah, I wouldn't say that like it's like, oh, made a new album, bought a Mellotron and a mini Moog. No, it's more like spending all my extra money, all my spending money on that stuff for 15 years. So that's basically where that comes from. Some of it is like sponsorship related, like some of these nice guitars I have, for example. High Spirit Guitars provided me with, so thank you to them. I don't think I have to put this video contains a paid sponsorship if I just show that off, and I'm excited about it and proud of it. I'm not doing an ad for them, but some of the stuff I didn't pay for, but I would say that I worked for it. I was paid with it, I guess. And Ray Day, what you do for work with now? Basically this stuff, teaching music stuff, teaching music production. But anyway, I want to do this real quick because I've got to actually get off this stream here in probably 10 minutes. I need to figure out a way to make dinner and be in my Zoom meeting for my D&D game at 6:30, which is in 18 minutes. And my goal here was just to get some sound design and ideas down, and I'll come back and do some more streaming on this. I have one more thing to do on the album that's coming out on Friday on my EP, which is I was going to do a quick stream on getting my MIDI sequences out and take the MIDI and put it as like an additional add-on on Bandcamp. So when people download or buy my music, they can get the MIDI sequences for it. What do you work with now? What do you mean by what style, Ray? Squeeze in time for relationships. That's a great question. It gets in the way. Put it that way. I would say that if I could give myself a pretty big character flaw, it's that I don't. I really do I put art and stuff first. Like I don't think that I would have time to do any of this stuff if I had like kids, for example. I would figure out a way to make time for it, but right now this is basically like all of the music that I put out. You see me putting out like 6 albums a year sometimes, and it's like that's what I'm doing basically. So I do make time for relationships sometimes, but I don't focus on it for better or for worse, I guess. You know what I need to do is see if there's a pedal tone that works on all these chords. I want to see if there's any note that'll be like every chord is stoked on. This one might be the one. Yeah, and I would say like with that relationship idea, I think that it's really important to make time for relationships, even if they aren't like romantic relationships or whatever. Like, but the difficulty is being very clear with your boundaries and making sure that people know that you have something in your life that's very important to you that you spend lots of time with, and I think that what you end up with is needing to form relationships with people that are the same way in one way or another, where they spend a great deal of their time on something that matters to them that they don't necessarily need you for. And the symbiotic part of the relationship can be like relating that you have that thing that you care about, which I think can be really special. And again, whether it's just like your friend or your significant other or whoever. And I think that can be really cool. But again, it just takes being like clear that this is, this is what I care about. Let's try this sequence. I guess I didn't copy enough of it. Okay, that's the sequence that works and that fits into the style I'm looking for. And now I just want to see if that feels good with the whole like opening the filter over time thing. And that's going to be the last thing I have time for on this stream, unfortunately. I really want to keep doing this right now, actually. But I've got D&D, and I promised that I would be there for it. And D&D is like being in a band, having a D&D group. It's fantastic, but it's a lot of people think they've got time for tabletop RPGs, and they just don't. They don't understand. You got to play D&D with people that are in bands, so they get it. I love that. Colin, I hope you like that idea of having this sort of Berlin School type sequencer. I'll make it sound way cooler, and I'm going to do that live on the synth. I'll do that as a live stream, actually. That'll be really cool to see how I get that kind of a sound, I think, because it's people will ask me about that, and they want it to be an easy answer. Like, oh, you just, put an automation line in here, and you go like, we like that's it. And it's not that. It's like I'm basically running it through hardware and treating it like, there's those people that will have the wall of synthesizers and get all these crazy sounds out of it, and you can't recreate that with even though you can recreate the sounds themselves with software. There's something that you get out of actually like turning the dial that you're gonna end up with a different sound, even though you could go back and recreate it in software later. Just because you can make the sound in software doesn't mean that you will make it for the first time in software. And I think that's very important to understand when you're thinking about hardware synths, because there are really great software emulations of these things that sound like phenomenal. And I think it's really, really important to recognize that you don't need a bunch of money to buy one of these to get a great sound, but if you have a chance to play with it, see if you like the workflow. And I fall in love with these things, and it's they're really special. So anyway, I've got to get going here so I can get some dinner. I've got to take these things. This is my I had a pulmonary embolism in the middle of last year, and I'm on an anticoagulant for it, so I have to eat dinner with my medicine at the same time every day so I don't die. And I know that shouldn't be funny, right? But I think it is. Anyway, so I've got to go do that before D&D, and then I've got to go sit down in the chair some more and be on a different video chat. I'm probably going to do another live stream like this on Friday, and I'm going to do a live stream essentially where I will be promoting my new release. I've got an EP coming out on Friday, and I'm also probably going to go shopping because it's Bandcamp Friday on Friday. So that means that Bandcamp doesn't take a revenue share. So if you buy from artists on Friday, they're going to make more money. So I'm going to see if I can buy some records, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to do that on a live stream without displaying my credit card information. If you've got any recommendations for an album that you think I should buy, let me know. I would love to check it out, and I'm going to be previewing music all week to see what I want to go shopping for. And I hope you join me for my shopping spree on Friday. Anyway, enough for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.